Hey guys, it's Kita from Kitafit.com here on the YouTube channel. I had some questions this week and I want to just go ahead and address those immediately for those of you that are starting on our program. One of the questions that I have been asked, I get asked this a lot, is this controversy between a high carb diet and or diets that are a little bit higher in carbohydrates compared to those diets that are a little bit higher in fat and saturated fats. And I was asked if saturated fat is good, you know, what saturated fat should I eat, etc., etc. So let me just go ahead and just try to outline first the big controversy that I want you guys to understand is the difference between eating a high-fat diet and a high-carbohydrate diet is this. There have been, one study was done in 2010, over 350,000 people were tested, and they basically were looking for correlations between high saturated fat and the incidence of coronary heart disease, strokes, heart attacks, etc., etc., and they did not find one correlation. So that's pretty, that's a lot of information. Those are a lot of people that are tested. So anyway, there's so much information to try to get in here so quickly. Basically, what I want to let you guys know is don't be afraid to eat fats. You need fat to burn fat. Just kind of keep that in your mind. The thing that's inhibiting a lot of people's programs are processed foods and high salt and high flour and high just the processing that occurs, and genetically modified foods are also a little bit of the villain. But anyway, let's get back to this. Here's what I want you guys to understand. If we had two people, one group of people were eating a high saturated diet, and then I had a group over here that were eating a high processed flour, processed foods, fast food, junk food, etc. That's what the diet they were on. And we did triglyceride tests on the saturated fat people, and then we did triglyceride studies on the people that ate the processed food. What you would find is the triglyceride levels would be almost 3-4 times as high in the people that are eating the refined food, the carbohydrates, and you would find a very negligible difference in the person that's eating the high saturated fat food. Here's what you need to know, okay? This is what's important. In France, they did a study, and in Japan they did a study in India, and this study that they just had conducted with these 350,000 people, and that is that saturated fat is not our villain. What is our villain? Our processed foods and high carbohydrate index foods. And this is why when you eat foods that are highly processed and when you're eating carbohydrates, what happens is your body has a metabolic response to that. Your insulin levels go really high, and the big thing that's really damaging your body is a hormone called leptin, and leptin is dysregulated when you're eating all those carbohydrates. And why is that important? It's important because this little hormone called leptin is what allows you to have your appetite, your hunger, your metabolism, all of these things. So that's getting dysregulated when you're eating a diet that's high in these processed foods. When you're eating really clean, usable forms of saturated fat, so coconut oil, olive oil, things like this, grass-fed choices, hormone and antibiotic-free, you're getting a really clean source of fat that's higher in omega-3s. Now here's the other thing that you gotta watch for. When you're having these processed foods, what happens, and these damaged, rancid, oxidative fats, what happens is your omega-6s and omega-9s go up. Kita, why is this important? This is why this is important. When you have that imbalance in your omega-3, 6s, and 9s, your entire metabolism is going to be affected. And in the long run, how does that show up? It shows up as high cholesterol numbers that are going up because you're having an inflammatory response. And the inflammatory response isn't to good saturated fats, it's again to those processed oils, those highly refined oils, things like that. So here's what I want you to look for in week 1 in your food. I want you to really start to look for hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated, and pull those foods out. Do not eat foods that contain that. Do not eat canola oil. Do not eat vegetable oil. I want you to start to cook with coconut oil and olive oil and augment your protein shakes in the morning with flaxseed oil. Our bodies are requiring good sources of fat. Fuel your body with good sources of fat. It's going to help your brain. which is comprised of cholesterol that helps you think, so your neurotransmitters, your thought processes, your moods. So if you're feeling depressed, you know what? Check your fats. Are you getting enough really good clean sources of fat? The other thing, what I wanted to go over with you guys, I just made some notes to kind of keep me on task here, is just so when you're eating in the morning, eat the egg, eat the yolk. When you're eating for lunch and dinner, I want you guys to try to look for hormone, pesticide-free, or free-range, or wild, because as you choose these choices of foods, the omega-3s are going to be up. That's going to help balance what you're eating in the long run. So anyway, this is Kita from Kitafit.com YouTube channel. Please feel free to share this video. What I want to do every week is answer your questions, so feel free to either Facebook me at Kita Johnson, or you can, at the bottom here on the YouTube channel, you can leave your comments. Just make sure they get to me. You can send them to me at Kitafit.com, and every week I will address your questions in here on the beach. I want to show you, it's a beautiful Friday. I'm going to slowly pan so y'all can see the ocean. It's just an absolutely beautiful Friday. Paddle boarders are out there. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous day. So just remember to get out there, get your clean sources of fat. So again, nuts are great. Just make sure that they're not manufactured with cottonseed oil, because that's a GMO. So just get raw nuts, you know, closest to the form. Your fish, get wild forms of fish. Your game, get, you know, wild forms of game if you can find that, or grass-fed, pesticide and hormonal free. Because what we're doing is when you're eating just, you know, regular hamburger or things that have that are pumped up with these GMOs, this corn and this soy to like fatten these animals, what's happened is all those toxins are lodged in the adipose tissue of the animal, and then you're eating that, and then that's getting lodged in you. One other thing too, really quick, about carbohydrates is you're getting fat not from eating fat, you're getting fat from eating so many processed foods and carbohydrates. So if you feel like you have a little tummy roll and you kind of want to decrease that belly, what you need to do is you need to decrease your refined carbohydrates. You need to put more fruits, more vegetables, and more really beautiful sources of protein in there. Okay, this is Kita from Kitafit.com, reminding y'all to have just an absolutely amazing weekend. My fashions today, I got this necklace from my twin for Christmas, so thank you, Malia, for getting me that. It was pretty awesome. And remember to get your cardio in and get your lean muscle tissue, because I'm in there doing free weights, okay? So big hugs, I love you. Take care and have a great weekend. Check out Kitafit.com, dedicated to the empowerment of the human